Live from Studio 7E in Rockefeller Center, this is Weekend Today in New York.
Welcome back. Hard to believe that the New York City Marathon is only 1 week away. Many of you may still have questions, though, running through your heads as we gear up for the big day. How hard should you train this last week? Should you load up on carbs, as you always hear? Well, here to answer these questions and much more, along with some tips to have you flying across the finish line, is Editor-in-Chief of Fitness Magazine, Betty Wong, and Monica Vasquez, a master trainer at New York sports clubs. And you can guess who's who, thanks to the shirt. And
my name tag.
You guys are running buddies.
Yes, we ran the New York City Marathon together last year.
That's great. Well, thank you for being on the show. Great to have you here for some last week tips. It's so exciting, the marathon coming up already. I'm sure people involved are very excited, but maybe wondering what they should be doing. So a week ahead, we're going to start with you, Monica. What should people be doing in terms of running? Do you go hard all the way until race day?
No, please don't do that. In about the 3 weeks prior to a marathon, you should be tapering. You should be reducing your mileage and your intensity up until race day because you want to save your energy. At most, you can do maybe a 2-mile run at race pace with a warm-up and a cool-down about 5 days before the marathon.
And should you be still running, though, every single day?
You want to be running. You still want to maintain some of that endorphins that you're getting. You can do maybe a 2-mile run before the race, the day before. Some people like to use that to get their jitters out. You can run, but I would keep it at 1.5 to 2 minutes per mile slower than race pace up until the day of.
And then, so the day before, you can do like a light 2-mile run?
Yeah, no more than that.
No more than that. And is there anything you shouldn't do in this last week? Like change your shoes, I would imagine, or
no new is good new. No new sneakers, no new clothes, nothing that might chafe weird. Make sure that your body is used to what you are running in because you're going to be doing it for a long time.
Okay, what about morning of? It's chilly that morning. You got to keep warm. I know that's a big tip.
It's really cold out there on Fort Wadsworth. What you want to do is you want to wear layers, and you can take them off and just toss them to the side right before you start the race. And those clothes are actually normally given to charity.
Yeah, you always. It's always so funny to see the fence like littered, and they are giving away thousands of pounds of clothes. And even you could use heating kind of pads or things.
Thermacare pads. Best thing I've ever done. Stick one right on the back of your neck. It's like your personal heating system.
Okay, well, we do need to move on to Betty now and talk about food and fueling up because fuel is also key.
Absolutely.
So everyone hears about carbs. What should people really be eating this last week and right before the race?
I think people think last week before the race it's pasta all day, all night, and that's not true. You should be definitely concentrating on carbs, but carbo loading is actually a myth right before a race because the more carbs you take in, the more water you take in, and you don't want to start a race feeling bloated. So for every gram of carbs, you actually take in about 3 to 5 grams of water as well. So you should, the week leading up to the marathon, really be focusing about 70% of your diet on carbs and make sure it's high quality carbs. We don't mean donuts. We don't mean French fries either. But definitely, good whole grain pastas, things that are easy to digest. In the days leading up to the marathon is great too. You probably don't want to load up on beans or broccoli or anything like that, anything bran, because that might be too heavy during a race. But definitely the day of the marathon, a bagel, a banana starting out for breakfast. It's easy digestion and will give you the fuel to really run.
And everyone knows about the big pasta dinner before.
Right, and the pasta dinner the night before, not necessarily a great idea because you don't want anything rich in sauce or rich in, fatty dressings, things like that. So it's okay to definitely have pasta, but sort of keep it on the light side. Have a little sort of grilled chicken on it. A very light sauce would be great.
We're running out of time, but I want to briefly mention people eat during the marathon, believe it or not. The goo, it's not real food, but you still need to fuel. And then after, you say chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk is a great post-recovery drink because it combines both carbohydrates and protein, a little bit of sugar, and it's great for muscle recovery.
And it's delicious as well. Okay, Betty, Monica, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with the marathon. And we want to say that we're going to have complete coverage of the marathon next weekend. Remember, News 4 is your ticket. We have complete coverage next Sunday, November 7th. Our live coverage begins at 6 a.m. right here on Weekend Today in New York.